Okay, this is a safety instruction video for our Bosch 12-inch sliding compound miter saw. First things first, let's talk about safety. There's nothing more important than these when you're working with power tools. Please wear safety glasses at all times. So this can slide back and forth. However, the head won't come up unless we release it here. We have to push down on the handle a little bit to release the tension and turn this 90 degrees, and now the head can come up. You'll notice that the guard clears itself as you need it. No need to hold that by hand. There's a lot of functionality. This is a compound miter. I can, by lifting up on this, as long as this is loose, I can lift up and I can turn, and it has a variety of locking points. 45, 31.6, 22.5, 15, and of course 0. Try and leave the machine on 0. There's a bevel lock that we can set. Right now this is set on 45 left, so I can tip the saw in this direction. If you're going to tip the saw, make sure that the fence is adjusted out of the way of the blade. It doesn't know where this fence is, it can cut right through it and damage the blade. Again, to release this, so this allows it to release, and I can go 0 to 45. There are some stops, 31.9, 45. I'm going to set it back at 0 and then lock it down. If I turn this one, I can get it to 45 right, max range. I could lock it out this way, and I can go left or right. Like that. If I want to set a different angle on here, somewhere in the middle, I can pick any point, rotate this, and lock for a cut here. This machine cuts when, as a right-handed person, I use my thumb to catch the red button, and then as a left-handed person, I would take my thumb and squeeze this button, pull the button, and then in any case, I want to have the saw pass the work. That's the safest way of cutting because the teeth rotate in this direction and the force is going this way. So you want your work flat on the table and up against the fence when we cut. Right now I've set it up with a stand so I can put a longer piece of work on here and cut. I could put stops on it and have repeatable cuts, or if I want to cut to a specific length, take my pencil, mark it where I like. Let's say I want to cut it at 38.25 right here. Put a mark on the waist side, and I can set this up. When I grab this to check the work, I'm going to make sure I don't engage the safeties. I don't want it to start up accidentally. And then I can set the work right where I want it, anywhere on the board where I have my mark. I'm going to set the teeth there and adjust so that this side of the blade is coming right down on my line. There's a little curve to the blade, so it'll cut a little wider than you think. I'm going to use my right hand to hold this in place. My left hand will turn on the saw. See, I have a little bit of line left. If I want to recut that, I can just scooch it over a little bit. Try again. And that's what I want. I've pretty much split my line. When I'm done with the saw, I can brush it off. Put the head down. Lock it in place. If you want to, you can actually lock this to keep it from moving. If you needed to transport it, you could lift here and here. There's another feature that allows us to set the height. We can adjust this by pushing and have a dado effect on our cuts. I want it to push down here. Set it. and it would go down to a certain depth and no lower. So I could create a dado cut on this saw if I wanted to. When we're done with it, please leave it so that it will go full cutting, so that the saw is below the level of the work into that trough. Again, when we're done, we lock it up. That's our Bosch 12-inch compound sliding miter saw.